James Charles, so that's current controversy. People wanted answers for what he was doing with his cousin 10 years ago. That's old controversy, which in my opinion shouldn't even be called controversy. That's just creepy behavior from an adult towards an underage girl. But okay, so long story short, Shane was stuck between a rock and a hard place that he literally created because he didn't have to release the statement on James Charles in the first place. So after like 6 days of all these clips getting dragged up, Shane's response came in the form of what he knows best, an apology video. So we're now 4 days before the disastrous live stream, and Shane has just uploaded his video called Taking Accountability. In this video, he clears up not just his Twitter statements, but also the really weird cousin clip that was circulating, and he knocks out the blackface while he was there too. Okay, look. Just how do you get in this many controversies at one time? I totally understand being in like a blackface controversy. I don't understand that. I'm not racist. But I can see how you could be in the blackface controversy. But then how are you also in like weird behaviors with minors controversy at the same time? Honestly, pick a struggle. Anyway, Shane apologizes. He said that he's sorry for normalizing racial slurs, which it's about time, but it's a little late. But hey.
Blackface was something that I did a lot. Like, I did it a lot on my channel, and there's no excuse for it. There's literally no excuse. So I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I added to the normalization of blackface or the normalization of saying the N-word.
After the racism apology, he addresses the clip with his cousin, in a really weird way.
I saw a vlog clip of me and my cousin who was, I don't know, probably 12 or 13 at the time. And we were, I was doing the birds and the bees talk. Dumb, gross shit. And I remember a few years ago, I reached out to her mom, my aunt, and I was like, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I can't believe I did this. Like, this is insane. I can't believe I talked to, my cousin like that. And, she was like, oh my God, we know. It's okay. It was funny. Like, we all thought it was funny. Like, that's just how our family is. So I kind of took that as like, okay, well, then I don't need to apologize for it. But I do.
Our family is just like that. Has to be the worst explanation for creepy behavior around a kid I've ever. And then lastly in this video, Shane addresses his statements about James Charles.
So the part of the Twitter note that I regret more than anything in my life was the part where I said that James deserved a slice of humble pie the size of the Empire State Building. I only want to talk about this situation with love because I feel like that note had so much anger in it. It was just not good. And so I'm going to come at this situation by first apologizing. I'm sorry, James.
And that was basically Shane's apology. There's a lot more in there because it was like 20 minutes long, but you can watch the full thing for yourself if you want. I just picked the parts that are going to come up again later down the road. But yeah, with like the triple apology video, first of its kind, it was enough. Or at least it would have been had he waited a little bit longer. See, when Shane Dawson gets called on to apologize for things, he always hyper focuses on like the one thing that he did and never the root issue. So he was so hyper-focused on the clip with his cousin and just general statements about the weird jokes he used to make about children that he didn't realize downplaying it would turn out to be a lie, because somebody named Miss Hemlock on Twitter made a thread where they just compiled all kinds of video evidence of Shane Dawson's behavior around children back before he was in his current YouTube era, and it is disturbing. Now, this thread came out 13 hours before Shane Dawson's apology came out, meaning he didn't have time to see it and craft his narrative around it. So he wound up shooting himself in the foot because he acted like it was just like a weird one thing with his cousin and the other things were just offhanded jokes. But then this thread is full of him interacting with real children that are not in his household. That's a gross violation of everything, basically. So I guess after Shane Dawson's apology video went up, he realized that more and more of these clips are coming out. So he privated 1.1 billion views worth of videos from his channel. It was like a last ditch effort to stop people from finding this old content, but he was far too late. The more views Taking Accountability got, the more retweets and eyes were on this thread where everyone could see how Shane was really interacting with these kids. But it kind of reached its peak when this video came out of Shane and Willow Smith on a poster. You just have to watch the video. And again, I'm warning you, it's very upsetting.
Oh, God. Oh, whip your hair back and forth. Oh.
So as uncomfortable as you felt watching that, imagine how Willow Smith's mom felt watching it. It turns out we don't have to imagine because She saw the clip and she spoke up. So now we're only 3 days before the live stream meltdown, and Will Smith's family has just dragged Shane Dawson on Twitter for sexualizing children. Jaden tweeted out in all caps, "Shane Dawson, I am disgusted by you. You sexualizing an 11-year-old girl who happens to be my sister is the furthest thing from funny and not okay in the slightest bit." Shortly thereafter, the mother, Jada Pinkett Smith, tweeted out, "To Shane Dawson, I'm done with the excuses." So less than 24 hours after his apology video where he thought he was in the clear, some of the biggest celebrities in the world just said, "No, we don't accept your apology or your excuses." By this point, so many people, in an effort to archive Shane's content, had sent so many clips, and people were making even more threads, by far the worst of which was this thread made by Nickelodeon, which documented this show called Hey Millie, which we're going to get into later. But long story short, the show was about a fictional 8-year-old puppet girl character. They wrote this character to be constantly sexually abused and unaware of sexual innuendos that she was putting out. That was the entire concept of the show. And because Jaden and Jada Pinkett Smith are such high-profile celebrities, them calling out Shane Dawson made him wind up in the news. Just 3 days before this Instagram live stream, Shane wasn't chilling on his couch. He was literally in the news for sexualizing a child that happened to be a celebrity. He had just deleted 1.1 billion views from his own channel in order to stop people from finding clips that they had found so many of. They were making threads of them on Twitter. He had posted a Twitter statement, that didn't work, he had to delete it. He posted an apology video, that didn't work because Jada Smith basically shot it down. I think for the first time in his career, Shane Dawson was out of options. And then Tati Westbrook posted her video, and that's basically when he lost it. So 37 minutes before the live stream, Shane was in the hot seat, and Tati Westbrook posts a video called Breaking My Silence. In this 40-minute video that she allegedly created with her legal team, Tati alleges that Shane and Jeffree did manipulate her, and they had a huge part in Bi Sister happening because they were jealous of James Charles. She makes really disturbing claims about Shane Dawson too, claiming that she thought making the Bi Sister video might cause James to be suicidal, but Shane Dawson had assured her that he's too narcissistic to hurt himself. It was really, really disturbing stuff. And, you know, hindsight's 2020. I feel like Shane Dawson should have waited half a second and collected his thoughts. But nope, he went live on Instagram 37 minutes after it came out, meaning he didn't even finish watching it. And then this is the behavior he exhibited in response to that.
This is insane. This is insane. This woman is oh my God.
It is not pretty. He shouts.
How is it that so many editorial outlets knew that something was coming before I...
Because you message drama channels! Oh my God. Oh my God.
He curses her out.
She is a fucking... I can't. I don't want to say mean things about people.
It's kind of hilarious, initially, just seeing the contrast of him trying to keep up his nice guy persona while pacing around his mansion and literally shouting at one of his former friends. But it stops being funny altogether when he starts calling her manipulative for bringing up her sexual abuse, and then mocks her and proceeds to bring up his instead.
As a victim of abuse myself...
Oh my God. You are so manipulative. You're fake crying. You are fake crying. You are fake crying. That is not real. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was molested. I have been, oh my God.
It was pretty bad. And just as suddenly as it started, the live stream ended because Shane's fiance tells him to stop streaming.
That is not.
I made no mention about in my video.
Oh my God.
The night before posting my video by sister,
Oh my God.
I texted Shane sharing my concerns for James Charles, that he was out of the country on the high floor of a hotel, and I was afraid for...
The whole ordeal was less than 3 minutes long, but the damage had been done. At its peak, almost a quarter